Hello, welcome to Fair Lady of the Loch Tarot. Thank you for joining me. Today we will be using the Three of Cups to draw us into the question of what celebrations lie in our future, what do we have now that we can be celebrating, and because this always reminds me of community, we are going to be asking the question of what communities could we be a part of that would enhance our emotional and spiritual growth, where we would feel safe, accepted, and loved. All right, so pile number one is the Universal Celtic Tarot with the three women going around the maypole. So that often represents Beltane in this deck, paired with the fire quartz, right? Apropos, given that Beltane often associated with the return of, the light and fire and warmth and that sort of thing. Pile number two, we have the Three of Cups in the Everyday Witch Tarot, with the Maiden Mother Crone energy and the Unknown Moon energy there. Cute cats and goldfish. And then we have the mookaite jasper. It comes from one area in Australia, hence its name. Okay. Those goldfish are giving me off an energy of abundance and good fortune, so there may be something there with that. All right, pile number three is the Steampunk Tarot, okay, with the candy fluorite, okay, and I don't usually say notes at the beginning about these cards, but I'm going to today. This card always reminds me about diverse relationships. When there's anything polyamorous in a reading, this card tends to come out for that. It's also a very gender fluid card here. So I am getting some vibes off of that. If it doesn't apply to you, ignore it. If you're drawn to the card for an entirely different reason, there is going to be a reason revealed, so don't worry about that. It's just my first impression here coming off that pile. And then we have the pile four with the Rider Tarot. Right, all that beautiful harvest energy coming out of that with the pumpkins and everything. And when I'm doing this reading, it's September, and we are rapidly approaching that fall feeling already. And here we have the Golden Healer quartz to go with that. All right, so pick your pile or piles. You may be drawn to more than one, okay? And I will see you in your readings. If you picked pile number one with the Three of Cups in the Universal Celtic Tarot and this fire quartz moonstone, then this is your reading. Now, how I do tarot is I read both the definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. And today we are using the Three of Cups to draw us into the questions of what celebrations lie ahead in our future, what do we have now to celebrate, and what communities are available that perhaps we should consider for our emotional and spiritual growth, where we're loved and accepted and safe, right? So we will be pulling clarifiers as needed, okay? So we're going to leave the reading open to those questions, because the Three of Cups embodies so much beautiful, positive, celebratory, and community-like gathering, energy, right? And right off the bat here, I see someone with this Five of Cups who is leaving behind everything that does not serve them, okay? They are moving on from everything emotional that does not serve them, okay? Because these issues were leading to anxiety, depression, self-doubt, a lack of confidence in oneself and one's abilities. I'm even getting an energy here of someone has been made to feel crazy for the gifts that they have been given by the universe. And this won't apply to everyone, obviously, but there are people who can see things that not everybody can, right? There are people who can see what is not evident to the human eye, okay? And throughout history, these people have been made to feel crazy and treated as such. Now, I will start with the caveat of, if anyone does have a mental illness, please do seek medical assistance, okay? But the person that I am talking to right now, and this seems to be a very specific energy here, there may be more than one person, but it's not going to be everyone. The things that you can see that not everyone else can. One, you're not alone in it, okay? Two, it is a gift. I know sometimes it feels like a curse, maybe most of the times it feels like a curse, but you are not alone in it, and it is not a curse. It is actually a gift, okay? And this gift helps you to protect yourself, it helps you to protect others, and I have felt this energy before in another one of my readings recently. Was it the Ace of Cups? It might have been the King of Wands. Might have been the Two of Cups. There was an energy in a recent reading. It's been within like the last handful of topics, okay? Since me coming back from the move and everything, where I felt this energy. So you might look at some of those, see if any of them call to you, okay? Because there was some encouragement and support in that reading for this energy there as well. Just know, okay? It is part of your greater purpose, part of your greater destiny, all right? And not something to be ashamed of or to be doubt-riddled about, okay? It is a gift, all right? Okay, now that being said, back to the general message here, leaving behind what does not serve you emotionally, okay, and spiritually, right? And seeking, treatment or removal from the situation that is causing this anxiety and depression, self-doubt, nightmares. I'm getting nightmares. Someone here may be a seer, okay? If you are someone who has, when you're sleeping at night, you have dreams and then sometimes they'll come true, whether that's literally or metaphorically, okay? You may be sitting in a classroom or in a library or in the car going down the road or what have you, and you may have a flash of something in your mind. And I'm not talking about deja vu, although that, is a form of a sort. I'm talking about an actual flash of a vision sort of a thing, a picture, a scenario that you haven't lived, but it feels very real to you in that moment, That is also a form of this, okay? And if you are one of these people, once again, you are not alone. There have been people like you throughout history who have been given this gift, okay? And once again, it may feel like a curse, but it is a gift. All right? And it is meant to be used to help you and to help other people. Okay? So right off the bat, as far as something to be celebrated in the moment, it may not feel like it's worthy of celebration. It may not feel like it's something to be grateful for. But it is. Okay? You and what you are capable of is worthy of celebration. Okay? And for those of you that are leaving behind a negative situation that does not serve you and getting out of this very negative headspace here that we're seeing, freeing yourself from that kind of pain is absolutely worth celebrating. Okay? Absolutely worth celebrating. Okay. Now, for some of you, this situation you are leaving behind is a lover, a romantic partner. I'm getting a little bit of throuple energy here. Love triangle. There's also that energy here as well. I'm getting affair, other woman, other man sort of energy also here. Okay, so there's a lot around this card. And one of the messages is that by leaving this relationship, by leaving behind this emotional turmoil that does not serve you, by making that choice, okay, you are freeing yourself, okay? And by making that right choice for you, once again, we have something worth celebrating. While it's painful, while it hurts, you putting yourself first and what you need in this life to live your best life is worth celebrating. Okay? For others of you, it's an unrequited love situation where you are in love with someone that is not in love with you, and you will be leaving that energy behind and moving forward with a relationship that does love you, because we are all worthy of love, of real love, okay? Of reciprocated love. And then lastly, I am getting here, there is a possibility of someone getting married. And if that is you, congratulations. And that is absolutely worth celebrating. All right? So a lot of messages coming through here in this collective reading. I'm also getting the message for those of you that have been wounded, do not allow your heart to turn to ice. Okay? Do not allow your heart to turn to ice. Keep it open. Okay? Keep your heart open. Because the sun, right? That celebration, that joy, that standing in your own power, that is beautiful. And the sun is very much a card of beautiful, powerful, celebratory energy, right? And we have Cernunnos here portrayed as a white stag, right? Very, very powerful here, okay? Bringing in that all-father energy, okay? So, remember, every life has something to celebrate. Every life, okay? Even if that celebration is giving yourself a good job, that a gal, that a boy, you left this bad situation, all right? Good on you. That sort of energy, okay? Talk to yourself like that. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know I sound silly. But give yourself that internal support, okay? Give yourself that internal sunlight. Be kind to yourself, okay? And don't forget to celebrate these victories. When we do something that's good for us, celebrate it. All right? And, you know, while there may be a time of reflection, of thought, of retraining the mind, of stabilizing that mental space, after everything that you have gone through and everything that you have left behind. Through the ice, through the snow of the pain, will come the flowers of spring, okay? Will come the joys of life, right? You see those crocuses coming up through the snow? I'm getting here that it may benefit you to work with water, okay? The element of water, and with air. With water and with air, balancing the heart and the mind, okay? Maybe meditating by a body of water, okay? Putting your feet in the water, letting them dangle as you sit and enjoy the sunlight, that sort of thing, okay? I'm also getting here that some of you would benefit from the cleansing, healing energy of quartz in whatever form you are drawn to it, okay? You've got clear quartz, you've got amethyst as a form of quartz, rose quartz, rainbow quartz. I mean, there are so many different kinds of quartz, but whichever quartz you are drawn to, I am getting that will be of great benefit to you, okay? And here we have that King of Wands fire energy, and you did pick the fire quartz crystal here, so there's a strong pull in that direction. With the King of Wands, this is knowing who you are. This is being wise and knowledgeable, okay? This is having been through some difficult stuff and come out stronger on the other side for it, all right? This is power, passion, intuition, spiritual stability, spiritual growth, all right? And it doesn't matter how old you are. Age is irrelevant when it comes to growth. As long as we are still alive, as long as our soul is still cycling through, we are capable of growth, right? That never stops. We are capable of change. That never stops, right? And with this King of Wands, it really does give an Odin-like feel to it, where Odin sacrificed himself to himself on the tree to gain, the runes of knowledge. So, he was big on that sort of thing, as with the tales. He sacrificed his eye to Mimir's well. He was big on wisdom and knowledge. That sort of thing. So I'm getting here that spiritual knowledge, spiritual stability is going to be important in your life. I'm also getting attending spiritual celebrations will be of benefit to you. And for those of you who are of an alternative faith and you are concerned about safety, as you can see, you have that dragon there guarding you, right? The other side is guiding, guarding, and protecting you, okay? And helping you light the path, light the way for you to go, okay? Yeah, I'm definitely getting spiritual celebrations to be had. It's giving off some fall equinox energy as well. It might behoove you to go online and check out what events within your spiritual practice might be around that you could attend and commune with others, of like mind. Okay, I'm definitely getting a sense of that for community for you here. Okay. With the swords here, when we're dealing with the Six of Swords, there's a letting go, okay? There's a releasing energy here, a surrendering to the divine in your mind and in your heart. here we have a loved one being sent over to Avalon, and as you know, these come from the Arthurian tales. There's a lot of strong swords energy in this reading. There's definitely something going on within the mind space that may be blocking some of your celebratory energy, okay? That, the way you think about yourself, or the way you think about your situation, or some healing that needs to happen because of past traumas or difficulties. I'm getting some childhood wounds maybe here from not being accepted for who and what you were. I'm also getting like love partner relationships that also were of that line. Okay, take it how it resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay? But this is the energy that you are going to be leaving behind. This is the energy you will be healing from. Okay? And that is worth celebrating. Every step of the way, celebrate your progress. Okay? Be your own best fan. Be your own greatest fan. Okay? And release yourself from these past wounds. I'm also getting a past life energy here. Warrior, past life warrior energy. There may be some healing that needs to occur from that, some blockages that need to be released. If that is the case for you, please follow your intuition. Allow that to guide you. Tap into your inner spiritual self, your inner divine energy. Okay, we have the three cranes representing the three aspects of the All-Mother here in this card. We have the moon with the unknown. Okay, the unknown will be revealed to you. What it is that you need to see, what it is that you need to know. Okay, the knowledge that you seek, the answers that you seek will be revealed to you. Okay, and once again, we're getting that call for spiritual community here. And with the Two of Cups, that definitely reaches into the relationship realm, okay? The Two of Cups often represents unions, partnerships, okay? It can be soulmate. It can be platonic, familial, business relationships. Anything that involves emotions and relationships. The Two of Cups is capable of covering. In this particular case, I am getting the message of only bestow your love, your romantic love, unto those who are worthy. Okay? You are beautiful, you are powerful, and you are capable of more than you know. Others will be drawn to that light. Okay, others will be drawn to that loving energy. Only bestow that precious romantic love of yours to those who are worthy. Okay, to those who have worked on their own healing journey and come out on the other side better for it. Okay? Strong, strong message of your love, your attention, your energy being given to those who are worthy. All right? Okay. I'm also getting energy of fated union here. When this person enters your life, in whatever capacity that they enter, whether it's romantic, platonic, familial, business, whatever it is, it will be with a purity of intent. Okay? In this deck, the Universal Tarot, the Knight of Wands has a special meaning with purity of intention. Okay? So this is taking action spiritually, powerfully, intuitively. Okay? It is a fire energy, yes, but it is a pure, bright, clean fire energy. Okay. Once again, that worthiness energy coming through. only bestow to those who are worthy, okay? Because you are precious. You are a divine being, okay? You are a goddess. You are fertile. You are abundant, okay? I'm getting empath energy coming through here, okay? Your emotional capacity is overflowing. You have a great deal of love to give to the world. And because of that love, it is made more the beautiful for it. Okay? So whether you are male or female matters not. Okay? In this energy, I am seeing someone who has been given gifts and is meant to use them. Okay? Not only in their interpersonal relationships, in their own personal growth, but within the spiritual community. Okay? So we definitely have a lot here to celebrate and a lot here to be thinking upon and growing with. All right? So let us read for you the fire quartz. Fire quartz is it's quartz with a humatization to it, okay? So all the power of quartz is in this, all right? With the added benefits of the humatization there. Fire quartz aids in grounding, stability, emotional clarity, self-worth, boosts energy levels, amplifies intentions, removes negative energy. It can aid in focus, concentration. It works with the root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras. Okay, so when you are meditating, if you want to place it, if you're laying down, you would place it on your lower chakras. Okay, and that can really be of some help. I'm getting that some confidence boosting meditation might be of use to you. YouTube has what's called great meditations that I use on a regular basis. They can be 5, 10, 20 minutes, up to an hour, whatever it is that you need. Okay. But if you are watching this as I am filming this at the time of the full moon at the beginning of September, with the eclipse and the blood moon and the supermoon and everything that has been going on with it, it's definitely a good time to be using this fire quartz, okay, in your meditation for yourself. A good time to be releasing, letting go, and opening yourself up to the spiritual truths that lie within you. Okay. I'm also getting a note here in my mind about this red tiger's eye. Okay, red tiger's eye aids in igniting passion. Okay, it aids in helping you to find your true love. Okay, but it definitely fires up that inner light while also protecting you. All right, at the same time. Okay, so that's something else that might be of benefit to you. Okay, so let us get you a white light oracle message with encouragement, affirmation, healing processes. Oh my giddy aunt, those all just fell on the floor. We're going to take the one on my lap and leave the ones on the floor because clearly they're not for you, but they wanted this one. All right, so we will do the one that fell in my lap first because it is calling to me. Okay, I'm talking about those lower chakras, and there it fell. All right, number 3, Obadiah. Do not turn away from your path, nor from what you know in your heart to be true. No matter what appears to be, nor what logic may dictate, trust what your heart is telling you. You are safe and protected by Spirit. You are spiritually empowered with all you need to manifest your authentic soul path. You have what it takes to connect with the light and live that connection in practical ways which contribute positive energy to our human collective. Okay? It also comes with a call to listen, right? To listen to ourselves, to listen to the universe. And here is an invocation and healing prayer that you can say aloud if you'd like. I call upon the white light of spiritual grace, divine love, and soul healing. Please help me tune in to clear guidance in all areas of concern in my life. I choose to trust in the unfolding of a higher, loving plan in my life, the divine timing of that plan, and my own capacity to respond and act with wisdom. We got that wisdom there with the King of Wands. I recognize that I am blessed, empowered, and protected as I fulfill my side of my divine soul contract with the universe. I have the courage to continue. I have the wisdom to embrace the inner light of my heart, helping, healing, and guiding me with grace. I have every right to be confident in myself and trusting of spirit. All right? Very synchronous message with what we saw here. Very synchronous. All right. We have number 5, Queen of the Nagas. A sacred task exists for you to fulfill. It is to be found through connection to your heart. Be open only to those most authentic teachings which prove helpful to your continued spiritual progress and personal freedom. Cleansing your body, mind, heart, and soul will be of particular benefit at this time. Powerful, subtle energies are helping ensure your success. Believe that many positive synchronicities and unexpected allies will rally to support you. That is a beautiful message and also extremely synchronous with your reading. The prayer that goes with this one is, may all waters be cleansed, protected, and blessed for the greatest good. I open to the unconditionally generous compassion and wisdom that protects and guides all true paths. May the positive presence of light be awakened within me. May I be surrounded by divine protection and spiritual grace. May I effortlessly attract all that is needed for my highest good, for the spiritual benefit of all beings. So, those of you who have watched me before know that I refer to the creative, primordial, feminine energy of the universe as the All-Mother. Okay? The energy I am getting here is someone very much connected with that energy. Okay? That All-Mother, creative, loving energy. All right? And the universe is asking you not to shy away from that, okay? Not to shun it, not to reject it. The universe is asking you to accept it. Take it into your heart, take it into your being, and let your light so shine so brightly that your love changes the world just by you being in it, okay? I'm getting the message also that it may benefit you to work with pink flower agate. Okay? Now, all the crystals that I have mentioned for you today, these 3 I found at the Mineral Mushroom. Okay? And they're on TikTok, and they have a website, mineralmushroom.store, I believe it is. But I'm sure they can be found at many other locations, okay? But they will be, well, I'm getting a message that they really will be of benefit to you in opening your heart chakra and getting that love light to grow in its intensity, as is your destiny, okay? I love you all. I hope that you found this message to be helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments. If there's anything that you felt could have been improved upon, please also let me know that. Be gentle and kind as you do so, if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. Don't let anyone, including yourself, tell you otherwise, all right? You are loved more than you could ever imagine, all right? By the All-Mother, by the All-Father, by the universal energy that is love, okay? And you are strong enough, all right? You are strong enough to get through any emotional difficulties, to leave behind all that does not serve you, to retrain your mind to your better and highest good, okay? You are strong enough, okay? You've got this. Do not doubt it, all right? Take care of yourself. I love you. I'm here if you need to reach out. Bye. Hello. Welcome to Fair Lady of the Loch Tarot. Thank you for joining me. If you chose the Everyday Witch Tarot with the mookaite jasper for pile number 3 of the 3 of Cups, then this is your reading. Now, regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. How I read tarot is I read both the definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. One of the things that I want to point out here with these readings, especially lately, regardless of what card starts at the beginning, which may have a more negative tone, I never want anyone here to get discouraged, because if you hold in there and you hang on with the messages, you will find the light. It comes very, very quickly, all right? So if you saw the 10 of cards with the upset face on it, don't worry, it'll be all right. But today we are using the 3 of Cups to ask the questions of what do we have in our future as far as celebrations go? What do we have to celebrate in our lives now? And what communities would we benefit from being a part of? Ones that love and accept us for who we are, okay? And that we're safe in. And forgive the awkward opening of this particular pile and video. It's usually a little bit more smoothly than that. But honestly, I was a bit distracted here by the energy of your pile. So we're going to start with this 10 of Wands. Right off the bat, I see somebody who's overworked, overburdened, and doesn't take good enough care of themselves. Okay? And these red shoes, even though they're leather and they have nothing to do with the whole Wizard of Oz, sparkly shoes that we see with when Judy Garland, plays the role and that sort of thing. I'm definitely getting that no place like home energy. Okay? I'm getting an energy here of someone who is overworked and underpaid. Okay? And just needs to take better care of themselves. Okay, there's a strong energy for that here. All right. And the Hierophant definitely is backing that up with this deck, because while the Hierophant in the Rider, the original tarot, may represent, traditional spirituality and that sort of thing, in the Everyday Witch Tarot, it actually represents non-traditional spirituality as far as that goes. Now, traditional can be defined in many different ways, so just take that for what it's worth. But self-care, okay? Self-care through practices such as yoga, tai chi, meditation, okay? Those sorts of things is definitely coming through strong here. And if you feel like you don't have the time, you're a busy mom, I'm even getting the energy of someone here who may homeschool their children, may have a homestead or a business, they may be an entrepreneur, have a lot of people in their under their care, their responsibility, maybe a daycare. Maybe they have that boss energy going on, okay? But regardless of what else is going on in your life, there is always time for meditation. There's always time for self-care, okay? So whether you take 5 to 10 minutes to do meditation or Tai Chi or yoga, or just sit in nature for a brief moment, okay? If you're minding young ones at home or something like that, have them sit down and do it with you. Meditation, Tai Chi, and yoga harm no one, and has exponential positive effects and growth and overall health benefits, okay? So, you may have a lot of little ones clamoring around about, and it may not go smooth 100% of the time or in the beginning, but by example, they will learn, and not only will they learn this practice, whatever one you choose, they will also learn how to take better care of themselves, okay? And you're teaching them that through taking care of you, all right? And once again here, we're getting that energy of a lot going on. You're juggling a lot of cups, you're juggling a lot of balls, you're juggling a lot of choices, right? A lot of responsibilities, okay? And so it may benefit you to have someone to help, okay? A mentor, a grandmother, a mother, an aunt, a friend, a spiritual leader. Might benefit you to join a group of others like yourself, a support group where you work together, to take care of the responsibilities that you have. Okay? It would benefit you to look at your local options. All right? So if you're that homeschool parent energy I was picking up on, maybe join a homeschool group, other parents like yourself, and help each other out. If you belong to a spiritual community, you can come together and help each other out with those responsibilities. Make the time to take care of yourself one way or another, okay? And don't let your thoughts deceive you, okay? Don't let your thoughts lead you astray from your own personal healing, okay? A lot of the times, we're just like, I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I'm too tired. I've got way too much to do. I'm not any good at it anyway, things like that, right? Nobody is good at meditation, Tai Chi, or yoga the first time they try it. We all look ridiculous, or we're all sitting there having thoughts in our minds about everything we got to do that day, making a grocery list, thinking about, did I take the laundry out of the dryer or out of the washer in time, or is it going to have that funny little smell that it gets? All of those weird questions that go through our head when we have silence. Myself, I sit there and I write books in my head at the beginning of it all. Sorry about the dog. He's sensing something outside he's not crazy about. The point is to not give up, right? And if silent meditation doesn't work for you, try guided meditation, and if you're like me, you're not crazy about somebody being bossy and telling you what to do all the time, right? So find one that works for you, okay? I use ones like Great Meditations over there on YouTube. They have these, 5-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute, up to an hour. And it's very gentle. It's very kind. It's very soft, okay? It's not pushy. It accepts you at whatever place you are and just gently guides you back on the path if your mind goes astray, okay? So consider that. The Three of Pentacles is that energy of working together to achieve a goal. So once again, we have that community energy coming through here really strongly, okay? And finding community is absolutely something worth celebrating. Taking care of yourself is absolutely worth celebrating, okay? Every step we move forward that adds to our growth, that adds to who we are as people, as souls, is worth celebrating. Okay? I'm getting here that someone here likes to paint, and that's your form of meditation, that's your form of creative expression and restoration. Absolutely do that. Okay? If that is what rejuvenates and lights up your soul, absolutely do that. Okay? I'm also getting here an added message that there might be some financial benefit in you pursuing your creative passions. Okay? And don't be afraid to work with others. All right. Yeah, definitely overwhelmed, exhausted. There's some depression and anxiety energy coming through here. I'm getting some possible single parent vibes, whether through never being married, divorce, or the passing away of a loved one. Remember, you're not alone. Reach out and get the support you need, okay? It is there. Do not suffer and struggle alone, all right? I'm also getting that someone here may be a workaholic because there isn't anyone at home to go home to. I'm also getting that message. And they're encouraging you to step out of your comfort zone, to step outside and get to know people. Find people. You know, go out there, join a hiking group. Volunteer. Go bird watching. You know, whatever it is that speaks to you. Join a book club. You know, go to a gathering. You know, a powwow. You know, whatever speaks to your heart. Okay. And find your people. Okay. You never know where you're going to find your people, so keep your heart and your mind open to that possibility. And it will be far more rewarding than you presently are capable of fully grasping and understanding. Okay? It will bring about so much abundance, so much fertility of heart and mind. And once again, you know, material gain is also coming through here. Okay? And material gain is your health, your wealth, your household, right? Some of you may be having a baby. I'm getting that coming through. I'm seeing baby showers here, okay? That is worth celebrating. Absolutely worth celebrating. And if you are pregnant, congratulations. All right, now, with the caveat of, if this is your energy and you are pregnant without a support system and you're scared and you're worried and you're anxious, okay? I can tell you from personal experience that it will be the most beautiful thing that you've ever done. However that little being came into life is not going to matter. It's not going to matter. All right? There may be difficulties along the way if you have to co-parent with someone you may not agree with, okay? And that sort of thing, all right? But if you are in this energy where you're pregnant and you're scared and you don't know what to do, there are a lot of resources out there that can help you, all right? And it is beautiful, all right? The love that enters your heart when you become a parent is unlike anything else in life. It is truly extraordinary. And it doesn't matter how that child came to be here, okay? Whether you gave birth to it, whether you've adopted it, whether you're a foster parent, right? Whether you're grandparents that are raising your grandchildren, however it came to be, that is a beautiful, beautiful energy to have and bring into your life. It does have difficult times. All of life does, okay? But it is one of the most rewarding things you'll ever do. And if this is something that you cannot handle, and you truly can't, there are resources there to help you with that as well. Okay? And I will leave that at that. You know, there are many options that everyone is aware of. in that realm. So you do what you need to do for you. For those of you that are in a loving, committed relationship, or for those of you that intentionally are having a child with or without a partner, congratulations. You've got this. It is going to be an experience unlike anything else you've ever known. All right? Congratulations. So much worth celebrating. So much joy. There's dolphins jumping in the background, little fish jumping in the sea. Just an extraordinary celebratory energy there. Okay? Now, for some of you, this involves a choice, right? This involves a difficult choice. And while many people will give you their opinions on what you should do, you need to do what is right for you. Okay? Do what is right for you. Now, not everyone is going to agree with the decisions we make. Okay? If you have been carrying way more than your load at work, there are going to be people that resent when you pull back and don't do as much as you were doing. There may be people now that resent how bad you make them look. I mean, that it could be a now energy, but I am also seeing a future energy here of difficulty. So I'm seeing business, right? And someone at work, may not appreciate you setting your boundaries, okay? But you do need to set your boundaries. Reclaim your personal power there. I am also getting that with this pregnancy, fertility energy I'm getting here, I am seeing that there are going to be some partners that are not supportive and leave, okay? I am seeing that. And I'm here to tell you, you will survive that. You will get through that pain, you will stand up, you will do what is needed for you and your child, and you will be the better for it. Okay? I am a firm believer in that sometimes you're better off with someone leaving. Sometimes your children are better off with someone leaving. Okay? So believe in yourself. Get back up. Dust yourself off. Go to war if you need to. But take care of yourself and your own. All right? And then lastly, I am getting a message about your own thoughts. Okay? Your own thoughts being your worst enemy. And actually, that's not the last message, because here comes another. I'm getting chronic pain and illness also being a cause for discomfort and distress. Okay? And if that is the case, I encourage you to seek medical treatment. There are advances being made all the time. And while they may not have been able to have helped before, or may even have dismissed it as being psychological instead of physical, they are now realizing a great deal more than they used to about chronic pain and illness. Okay? So find a doctor that works for you and get some help. Okay? All right. For those of you that it is a mental space, the way you talk to yourself, the way you think, that sort of thing, they're encouraging you to train yourself to think in a new way. Okay? Be a student of yourself. Be a student of your thoughts, and train yourself to walk in confidence, power, and positivity. Okay? If you think you can't do it, then you're not going to be able to do it. But if you believe with your whole mind, body, spirit, the whole entity of yourself, that you can do it and you are going to get it done, all right? If it is meant for you, you absolutely will, all right? So be a student of your own mind and train yourself to think with positive, confident power and passion, okay? And follow your intuition, all right? Balance the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine energies within us all, okay? And listen to your intuition. You know, the other side uses many ways to communicate with us, and it's not always easy to discern or ascertain, you know, what it is that they're trying to say. And, you know, sometimes it can be helpful to get a second opinion, such as a reading like this, you know. But we are all capable of intuition and of using that, okay? We do not need to be dependent upon others in that way. So listen to your own inner, not the doubts, okay, not the shame, not the blame, but your true, intuitive, powerful self, all right? And it will help guide you along the path. And then once you have retrained your thoughts, once you have learned to follow your intuition, that Knight of Swords energy is going to come sweeping through, and you are going to know what it is that you're meant to do. You're going to know how powerful you are, right? And you're going to know how to deal with those around you that are naysayers or cause you more difficulty or conflict, okay? So take courage in that, right? And I'm here to tell you, you have so much to celebrate. All of these steps forward that you take, every step you make in your growth is worth celebrating, okay? You take the time out to do a meditation, celebrate it. You did something good for yourself. You grew, right? You know, you make a choice to follow your heart, celebrate that, right? You know, you delegate and you make more time for yourself and your family, celebrate that, okay? You're bringing new life into this world, whether it's with a loving partner or without, celebrate that, because that life is worth celebrating, all right? You know, you retrain your mind, you listen to your intuition, celebrate it. Celebrate life in all of its multitudinous glory, because while it can be a kick in the pants, it can hurt in so many ways. It is also one of the most beautiful experiences that the universe has to offer, and it should be lived in that light, okay? All right. So you chose the mookaite jasper, and I have the red, almost heart-shaped one here, the yellow, and then this pinkish brown with a little brown heart on it. Isn't that cute? And those came from a shop that's no longer in business, but it really provided my family with a safe space and community to be, and I will always be grateful for that. So mookaite jasper can come in yellow, brown, red, cream, okay, just like that. It helps with flexibility, vitality, protection. It works with the solar plexus, sacral, and root chakras, and is most commonly found in Australia. Mookaite jasper is like a motivational speaker in crystal form. This earthy rock enhances confidence and helps you realize and work toward your full potential. It inspires the desire to try new things and break routine, while offering the support needed to positively navigate the unfamiliar. If you're stuck in a rut or have rigid ideas or patterns of behavior that no longer serve you, mookaite can help dispel them, promoting flexibility free from anxiety. It's a stone of strength and vitality. Mookaite jasper is also grounding and protective, creating an energetic shield that will make you feel safe and cared for. It's a very balancing stone, promoting overall health. Healers also believe it can strengthen the immune system. Mookaite is the local nickname given to this specific opaline and chalcedonic radiolurite rock that includes the mineral-rich remains of microscopic protozoa that comes from Mooka Creek in Australia. Mooka, an Aboriginal word, is said to mean running waters. For personal use, keep mookaite in your pocket to assuage any fears when trying something outside of your comfort zone. And at the home, it can settle the environment after a move to a new home or during the upheaval of renovations. And at work, it can reveal the root of procrastination and increase motivation. And in having it in your workspace or in your home space, it can also benefit and help those others in that space as well. Okay. So if you have coworkers or family members who procrastinate a lot, having that around might be a benefit. Okay, we're going to get you a Moonology oracle. And today, the main message here is, what do you need to release? Waning moon. And we saw that here with your beginning card, right? What do you need to release? Right? What do you need to let go of? Okay? Yeah, that's important. All right, what do you need to release? I'm also getting that we need to pull you a White Light Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And I'm seeing this one. Number 20, Spirit Owl of 852 Hertz. So it might benefit you from listening to music at 852 Hertz. It might also be a good idea to look into the owl as a spirit animal. Okay. Recalibration to a higher order of divine purpose is in progress. It is not always a smooth ride, but it is safe to be fearless as you gently hold space for new ways of thinking. And we absolutely saw that in your reading. Living and seeing to emerge. You are encouraged to let go of opinions and belief systems that cannot support you in higher frequency states. You shall soon recognize a truth that cuts through confusion and frees you to proceed with love, peace, and higher understanding. That is a really, really encouraging message, okay? And I'm going to read you a little bit about Spirit Owl here too, because that is really coming through here. Spirit Owl is the wisdom bearer, the one who perceives the intended meaning underlying words and the truth behind appearances. Even in darkness, Spirit Owl senses subtle movements with accuracy. The heightened senses of Spirit Owl are akin to the supernatural perception of the higher self. Your higher self sees through illusion and with compassion. It astutely recognizes the agendas of the ego and tunes into the empowering energies of the universe to find a constructive way to express its loving purpose. Okay? So, I know that some people are workaholics because they believe that's the only way they know how to express love. Okay? And if you are one of those, I encourage you to look within, to acknowledge that that is not the only way to show and express your love for those you care about, and to move forward in a more healthy and balanced way. Okay? I also have for that pregnant energy that we saw here, there is a message here as well. Okay? The spaciousness is a sacred womb of the universal goddess. Out of that emptiness, many beautiful new creations will emerge. Continue with this process for as long as feels best for you. Okay, so once again, guiding you to listen to your own intuition and what is best for you and your child. Okay? And it also really strongly encourages that meditation that we talked about. All right? Yeah, there's a lot of good messages with this one. It says, within that interior realm there is much spaciousness. It is alive, vital, and receptive. Into that intelligent void you can release anything you have held on to mentally, physically, or emotionally. It is peaceful to do this. It is enjoyable to do this. You become more of your true and effortless natural self as this happens. Gently allow attachments to be dissolved lovingly and set free into that spaciousness. Right? So, if you are interested in shadow work and having a daily affirmation or even accountability, this deck is great for that. All right. Okay, I hope that you found this to be helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If there was anything you felt could have been improved upon, please also let me know that. Be gentle and kind as you do so if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. You are loved more than you will ever know. And you are strong enough to do what is needed to take care of yourself. And by doing so, it also takes care of others. All right? Love you. Bye. If you chose pile number 3 with the Steampunk Tarot and the Candy Fluorite Palm Stone, then this is your reading. Now, how I read tarot is I read both definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. Today we are using the 3 of Cups, which actually came out for you, to ask the question, 1, what celebrations lie ahead for you in the future? What in everyday life do you have now to be celebrating? And what communities would be of the best benefit for you in your personal and spiritual growth? Okay? And in your reading, we actually pulled the card that brought you into this reading. Okay? So, if we need to pull clarifiers, we will. But right off the bat, this is showing me it is a love reading. Okay, this is a family, love, soulmate, the joining of 2 families, that sort of energy. Okay, we're getting marriage, we're getting committed relationship, we are getting meant to be love. All right, so either you are already in that kind of a relationship, or you are going to be. Okay, so that is the starting energy here with this 10 of Pentacles. Now, while the 10 of Pentacles are material, right? They're usually health, wealth, and house, right? In this deck, the 10 of Pentacles is very, very, very much about all of that happening within a loving union. Okay, this is abundance in all of its many forms. Okay, and there may be children as a part of this. There may be a blended family coming together, or you already may be in a loving relationship and have children, or are going to have children. Okay, and all of those things are worth celebrating. So one of the messages that I am getting here is, do not forget to celebrate your partner. Do not forget to celebrate your love. You know, some of you may be in a relationship that you have been in for a long time. Some of you may not be in one yet, but are hoping to be in one. Okay. Some of you may be like, nope, I'm done with love. I'm fed up. Forget it. No matter what stage you're in, this is showing that there will be love. Okay. But for those of you that there's a reminder, don't forget to celebrate each other every day. Okay. Tell each other that you love each other. You know, give each other a kiss on the forehead or the cheek, or whatever works for you in your relationship. Okay. You know, snuggle and cuddle, and you know, don't be teenagers again. Sometimes, you know, don't forget how your love began. Don't forget how your family began. And remember to stay in that beautiful light of love as you grow together, in your respect and trust of one another. Okay? For those of you that are going to find this kind of love in your future, I'm seeing, for some of you, animals is important, okay? Whether you have them or your partner is going to have them, but animals will be a part of your family, okay? For others, it is a child, whether it is a child that was already born into another relationship and is being brought into this one, whether it's a child that will be born between the two of you or is adopted or fostered or that kind. It also could be a younger sibling that plays an important role in your lives. Okay. I am getting a message here in that regard where you will know the right person for you by how they treat children and animals, okay, and how they treat the elderly, okay, and how they treat other people. They will show that their true colors eventually, okay? And if those true colors are loving kindness towards all, then that is a good sign, okay? And there's definitely abundance here, very strong abundance energy. I'm also getting here something about honeymoon and travel. I'm seeing Washington, D.C., I'm seeing Rome, London, Florence, Tokyo, Ireland. I'm even seeing Romania. I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. Disregard it if it means nothing to you. There may be something here about traveling together. Okay? Now, there's definitely something about traveling together, taking an airplane, traveling together, a boat, perhaps. Okay? Strong travel situation going on there. Okay? And what is important to know is that this love will not entrap you. It will be freedom. Okay? A love relationship is not meant to trap someone. It is never meant to trap someone. Okay? We're not meant to be puppeteers to one another, pulling each other's strings. It's mutual love, mutual respect, mutual trust. Okay? Mutual freedom. Now, that doesn't mean that you're free to run around and be with other people unless that is something you have previously agreed upon. And then if you do, you need to be very, very sure that's what you want. Okay? And do it in a very balanced manner. Okay? So, when choosing a partner and when maintaining a long-term relationship, remember that you are each individuals and you are each free. All right? It is not a trap. It is not entrapment. We are not each other's puppeteers. Okay? We're not each other's bosses, parents, babysitters. This needs to be a mutual, loving, respected, trusted relationship. Okay? All right. For those of you about to go off on a new beginning, a new relationship, traveling with each other, you may meet someone while traveling, okay? I'm also getting something about you may meet someone through work or through volunteer work, like at an animal shelter or something, okay? And once again, some strong London and Rome, that sort of vibes going on here. Okay. One of the things that you will recognize in your partner and in yourself is that you value independence and stability, okay, while also working together to achieve mutual goals, like gardening together or traveling together or and even getting hunting together for those people that, now, take that for what it's worth. If it has nothing to do with you, disregard it. And, everyone has their own value systems. So, please don't bring negativity into the comment section about that. Okay? Definite material strength. Okay? Grounded energy here. And once again, that Pentacles energy of health, wealth, and home is coming through strongly there. Okay? and at the beginning, when I was speaking of the piles in the first video, I mentioned that this card was coming through strongly as open relationship, polyamorous relationship, gender fluidity, homosexuality. So this card is encompassing a wide range of relationships, okay? So even though this one has male and female on it, this reading is by no means limited to that, okay? So this can be any form of relationship. But once again, if you are in a polyamorous or open relationship, please do so with love, care, respect, and balance, okay? Making sure that each partner is appreciated, celebrated, and given what is needed, okay? It's never a good idea to have an odd man out in any relationship, man or woman. It's just an expression, okay? I'm also getting here that you may meet your partner through some sort of society or club or lounge. You know, in the Regency period and in other eras of English history and British history, there were gentlemen's clubs, okay? And I don't mean that in the modern context of the term, you know, is where they'd get together and they'd talk and they'd communicate. And I'm kind of getting that sort of a vibe, I don't know, country club or something like that, okay? So some of you may meet your partner through that, or some other organization such as that, okay? I'm getting also like art, museum, even a steampunk or cosplay or something like that event, okay? Those are all coming through here. Dance classes is also coming through. Okay. So with the Four of Swords, I am getting a message that some of you may be widowed, okay? You may have lost your partner, and you may have felt like you weren't going to find another, okay? And this could be widowed or divorced. Loss comes in many different kinds of ways, okay? But I am getting a strong widower, okay, feeling here. Edgar Allan Poe, you know, nevermore energy. Strong with this one. And if that is the case, they want to let you know that while, yes, you are in a time of being brokenhearted, you are in a time when you feel like somebody has put knives through your heart, right? You will heal in time, okay? With patience, with self-care, with love, you will heal, okay? And while this does bring about significant changes in your life, okay, complete changes in your life, there does come a time when we all must say goodbye. It is the cycle of life. You know, we are born, we live, and then we pass on. And then, if it is meant to be, we are born again, and we live, and we you know, that cycle over and over again. Now, if that doesn't resonate with you, leave it behind, okay? But this is an encouragement that it is time to say goodbye. Keep them in your heart always, okay? But also allow room in your heart for others, all right? I'm getting a Valhalla energy from this card here, a Valkyrie Valhalla energy. It may be that your partner was in the military, perhaps, for some of you. and passed on. And the other side is wanting to let you know that that they're all right on the other side, okay? And they do want you to be happy. You know, it's quite a special thing to be chosen of a Valkyrie. That is no small feat, okay? To be taken to the halls of, you know, the All-Father, or of the All-Mother energy, you know, that's respect and honor, and you will survive, okay? And they will return, and you will be together again. So there's a strong message here to continue to live, okay? And to not just survive, but to thrive, all right? That is what they want. It is coming through very strong here, and that's not going to be for everyone, all right? That's just a message that is really coming through. And forgive me, I am getting a message from someone that says that now I'm not going to say it the way they said it. I'm not going to do that. It's not appropriate for social media, but they like your chest in that dress. Take that for what it's worth. Leave it behind if it doesn't resonate, but somebody is flirting from the other side as a bit of a joke, okay? Some of you will have inherited money, okay? And this will bring about a certain amount of stability for you when this, you know, during this process. It's not something you need to feel guilty over. It's not something that you need to have any negative feelings toward. This is something they wanted you to have, okay? This is something that they wanted you to have, and they wanted you to celebrate life with it, all right? And if you always wanted to travel, travel, okay? If you always wanted to go back to school, go back to school, all right? If you wanted to start a charity or a scholarship, do that, okay? Whatever it was, they want you to follow your heart and your passions. For others of you, the loss of someone has left you in a bit of a financial pinch, right? And you are uncertain about how that is going to pan out. And they are letting you know that it will be all right. Okay, it will be okay. It may be tight for a time, but it will be all right. Okay. And then for those of you who are married already and have not lost your partner, there is a message here about your savings. Something about setting aside money for travel, or for when the kids have gone off to college or left the house and you're empty nesters. There's some energy there about saving up for your kids' college or for your own travel that's coming through, okay? And those of you who are going to be in a positive relationship, there will be financial stability, okay? All right. But any relationship requires you taking action upon what is in your heart, okay? And the Knight of Cups is all about that. It is all about taking action on what is in your heart, okay? So, be grounded, be stable, be balanced, and make that forward step. Be bold and brave and courageous, and make that step to be the one who puts their heart out there, who loves like there's no tomorrow, and doesn't regret it regardless of how it pans out in the end. Be that Knight of Cups, okay? It's good to be logical. It's good to think things through. It's good not to have blinders on. It's good not to wear rose-colored glasses all the time and to see things straight up as they are, okay? It's good to see our partner as they are because it helps us to better know, understand, love, respect, and accept. All right? If we cannot do those things, seeing them clearly, then that partner is not meant for us. All right? You will know the right partner for you when it comes. And when they extend their hand and offer to you, your mind and your heart will both know. Okay? Listen to your intuition. All right? Use that balance of logic and heart. All right? There's also an energy here of karma. Okay? How you treat others will come back on you, whether good or bad. Right? There's that mutual flow of energy there. So remember to treat others as you would like to be treated. Okay? Even better, perhaps. Okay? And if you have been mistreated, allow the universe to balance the scales. All right? Allow them to seek the justice. All right? That's coming through pretty strong there, okay? If you have been wronged in any way, remember, the universe is going to take care of it, okay? All right. So, for those of you waiting for that love, for those of you that are not currently experiencing it, just keep moving forward. Work on your own health, wealth, and home, all right? Work on your own spiritual needs, your own sense of adventure, and just keep moving forward steadily. And you will find each other, okay? It's like the universe is sending up its own smoke signals, so you can find each other, but you don't see them, right? You're just moving forward in your day-to-day life until one day there they are, okay? For those of you who are already in a loving relationship, make sure that you are moving together as needed, allowing each other alone time as needed, and remember to encourage each other along that journey. Take one step at a time each day, and don't lose that adventurous spirit, okay? For those of you who have lost someone, take it one day at a time. With each day, with each step, you will get better. It will get better, okay? And every step you take is worthy of being celebrated. All right? Okay. That covered a lot of different kinds of situations, so I hope that each one of you were able to find a meaningful answer here today. All right? If you wish to share with me in the comments how it touched your heart or affected you, please feel free to do so. Be respectful and kind with one another and with me as you do so. Okay, we have the candy fluorite with mental clarity, emotional harmony, spiritual growth, motivation. It helps to enhance focus, decision making, emotional stability, intuition, resilience. It can help with cleansing and protection, and it works with the third eye and heart chakras. And I got this little guy at the Mineral Mushroom. You can find them on TikTok or on their website at Mineral Mushroom. I believe it's .store. Okay. And today we are going to pull you. Honestly, I'm being torn here between, so we're going to do both, I guess. But also, I'm being told to tell you that a black moonstone, carry that around with you during your travels, okay? It is particularly protective of those who travel, okay? So while you're traveling, put it in your purse, your briefcase, your suitcase, your pocket, your bra, whatever, okay? I'm being told that this will be a benefit to you. So black moonstone. And that came from a Thunder's Trove, and you can find them on TikTok and Instagram, I believe. Okay, what are we getting from this one? Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. Okay? Work through your fears. So often we allow our fears to keep us from showing the love that we should and receiving the love that we should. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Okay, so it's time to take action upon what is in your heart. Okay? And celebrate with that fiery, fiery energy that Aries brings to the table, right? Also, both of those being a new moon, it might benefit you to work under the new moon, especially if you are trying to, release things and draw things to you, right? Because that new moon is that in-between stage, between the waxing and the waning, right? So, and the waning and the waxing. So just work with that new moon energy. All right, we've got a White Light Oracle by Alana Fairchild. That's a lot of cards. These readings have been getting longer and longer. I hope that that works for you guys. They've been giving me a lot of information lately. I don't know if it's an expansion of my personal practice here, if it's the length that you guys are needing, or if it's this full moon, eclipse, blood moon, supermoon energy we got going on here at the beginning of September. But something has certainly made these messages significantly longer than normal. All right, so they gave you 5 of these White Light Oracle cards, so bear with me here while I read the messages to you guys. All right, Oracle of Chaldea. Continue on your healing journey with enthusiasm, but without forcing things to happen more quickly than feels natural. Sometimes the body will be ready to let go whilst the mind is still holding on. At other times, the mind may need to be patient as the body processes an experience. Trust in your own timing and rhythm. There's no need to be impatient or to judge yourself. You are summoning the spiritual fortitude to tackle an issue which has previously held you back. When the time is right, the healing shall happen more easily than if you tried to push forward prematurely. Things are going to work out. Be positive. Okay, so that's a really nice uplifting message to go with the reading that we had here. Number 6, Shekinah. Okay. This one came up in a couple of readings this last week. I do not remember which ones, but if you feel the call to go back through some of last week's readings, listen to that. Otherwise, just ignore it. The spiritual worlds want to help you resolve your worldly concerns. It is safe for you to rely on Spirit as a loving, protective, helpful, and practical presence, able to positively affect all areas of your life, including facilitating the resolution of physical problems. Do not limit your spirituality to concepts. Instead, apply your higher knowledge and principles, grow your wisdom, and live your path. Acknowledge your value as a person, as a soul. Treasure the gift of your path and let your spirituality integrate with all facets of your life. Okay? Number 39, Ivory Wish Fulfilling Crow. I believe that also came out in one of last week's readings. Let's see. Number 39, Ivory Wish Fulfilling Crow. And I love this card. It's so pretty. I like birds. You can have what you truly want. Such knowledge helps soften and release fear, grasping, control, and doubt. Have confidence that the universe hears your prayers and is even now leading you into that which you seek. You can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection whenever you need stabilization and protection against the fluctuations of the external world. And this black moonstone that I showed you earlier is an excellent one for that, okay? No matter what is happening around you, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. All right, I'm going to read that one again because that is so, so important. No matter what is happening around you, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. Okay? Don't forget that. Say that to yourself as many times as you need to help you live in the faith. Okay? And 23, Beta of Spirit Wolf. That one came out yesterday? No, day before yesterday, I think, in one of the readings. Give yourself enough rest. Only then will you be able to ground yourself enough to cultivate focus and motivation to fulfill your path. You will find a way through any tricky situation as you tune into your instincts and trust your own timing. From times of change and uncertainty comes confidence, love, and resilience. Embrace transition, commit to your tasks, and stay focused, but be flexible in your approach. You have the skill to intuitively handle any situation. So, listen to your intuition, okay? And here is a little self-message, okay, that you can say aloud if you wish. I have it within me to accomplish my soulful tasks with focus and effectiveness. I trust myself to find my way according to my own heart wisdom and with the strength of spirit that keeps me motivated to continue on my path, while also meeting my needs for rest and replenishment. Sometimes when you've been in a relationship for a long time, it can be difficult to stay on that loving path and to not stray. So if you are having difficulty with that, be open and honest with yourself, in your heart, and examine that, okay? And make sure you're being true to your soul's path, okay? Number 19, Salve Paluti, 741 Hertz. It may benefit you to listen to music at 741 Hertz. Tune into your heart. Apparently it's time for you to tune into your heart. Tune into your heart, and you will be able to find your way through any negative or toxic situation. Engage in self-healing and space clearing. Commit to regular practices that help you connect to your inner light. Your light shall not be overcome by any darkness or negativity. Take time to clean your heart and mind of negativity by focusing on the divine beings that bring you joy to your heart. It is appropriate for you to desire your own personal and sacred space and access it daily. Okay, so remember with that Nine of Pentacles when we were talking about being independent individuals as well as being in a couple, right? Have respect for that, right? Remember to respect each other's sacred space and allow one another access to that daily, okay? Everyone is on their own path and journey. Sometimes our paths come together, and sometimes they need to be walked just, independently, even within a loving relationship. So bear that in mind, okay? A little bit of empowerment here if you wish to use it. I call upon the pure white light for cleansing, realignment, renewal, and protection now. May I be protected from all negativities, purged from all malignant energies, and held in the sanctity of the light, in all dimensions of my being. I shed and release that which obstructs my luminous and true nature. Through divine mercy and grace, for the spiritual benefit of all beings, so be it. Okay? All right. Take care of yourself, okay? Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And love. Just love. All right? I'm also being told that you might benefit from working with clear quartz. It is a master healer. It works with everything. you have a problem, crystal quartz, clear quartz is the rock answer. It's a good one, and that one also came from a thunder's trove. So, these two here, the black moonstone and the clear quartz, you can use them together or separately. And then this candy fluorite, while not as common as the clear quartz, I do believe for this pile is actually going to be really beneficial. Okay, it may even help to awaken some of that childlike wonder that aids you in loving with a pure heart. All right. I hope that you found this to be helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If there was anything you felt could have been improved upon, please also let me know that. Be gentle and kind as you do so, if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. Okay? You are loved beyond measure, and you are capable of love beyond measure. And you are strong enough to get through any healing or pain or loss. Okay? You are strong enough to listen to your intuition, to let your heart and your mind guide you in equal balance with one another. And you are bold enough and brave enough to take the action required and work through any fears you might have that would be holding you back. All right? Love you. Take care of yourself. Bye. If you picked pile number 4 with the Rider Tarot and the Golden Healer Quartz Palm Stone, then this is your reading. Now, how I read tarot is I read both the definitions as well as intuitively, allowing the cards to fall where they may, reading both uprights and reversals. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs, you are welcome and respected here. Today, we are using the Three of Cups to ask a few questions. 1, what celebrations lie ahead in the future? 2, what in our day-to-day lives now should we be celebrating? And 3, what communities would be beneficial to us in our personal and spiritual emotional growth? Okay? So we are leaving the Three of Cups to share with us any and all of its, just saying, oh, I picked this up, meanings. Okay, so that's clarification for that one. All right. And we may have to pull more qualifiers because this energy is a little bit all over the place here. I think that's why the Golden Healer is important for this. It's going to aid you in your healing process. Okay? Okay. So, I have here someone who is accustomed to being in control of their emotions. Okay? This is someone who is grounded. They know who they are. They're confident. Okay? Whether this is you or someone in your life. Okay? It could be someone who's about to enter your life. It could be you, or it could be someone who already exists in your life. Okay? But this is someone who is emotionally stable. All right? They know who they are. Okay? And they're used to being in control of their emotions. Okay? For whatever reason, I am getting a German vibe going on here. So take that if it resonates, leave it behind if it doesn't. I'm also getting a Pisces energy off of this. Okay? So once again, if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, leave behind. But this is someone who has worked hard, right? Someone who has worked hard for what they have. They've been diligent. I'm getting someone who might be a gardener, a homesteader, a farmer, someone, a manual laborer perhaps, a factory worker or owner, someone who started from the ground and worked their way up, okay? This is someone who put the work in on themselves and on their business. when you're dealing with pentacles, it's health, wealth, home, okay? Maybe someone built a home. But there is definite strong vibes of you put in the effort, no matter what it was towards, okay? And you did this not knowing how it was going to turn out. You made this choice, okay, for emotional stability, for putting the hard work in. I'm seeing someone who did a lot of shadow work to get to this place of stability, okay? You made the choice not knowing how it was going to end, right? But you knew you had to make it. And the thought, you know, it was very clear to you, all right? So you moved forward in faith. And it has brought about many blessings. A grounded, stable, independent energy is coming through here, okay? So, I'm also getting here a masculine and feminine energy, like a couple or family, okay? Like brother and sister could also be here with this. Two people who are stable individuals, who have worked together towards an end. And this can be, you know, a married couple, a partnership of any kind, all right? Could be a business partnership. But definitely had their work pay off, okay? Very stable, grounded energy here, all right? But then something happened, right? Something happened that shook the ground on which you stood with this Tower card, okay? It was sudden, and it brought about a great deal of change into your life, right? And at first, you know, this may have been something negative. It may very well have been something negative, okay? I'm not going to claim otherwise. But it also may have been something that at first appeared negative, but then later turned out that it was part of your destiny, part of what was supposed to happen to get you where you needed to go. Like, for example, the loss of a job led you to have to move to another job, and then you found out there was something there you needed to learn from, to grow from, or that even further enhanced your life, okay? So, you know, that sudden change that can oftentimes seem really bad at first, you know, and it really can get us in our heads. It can really get us in our heads, and it can affect our relationships. It can make us angry with the universe, with ourselves, with our spouses, our partners, our family members, our business partners, whatever is going on. It can make us blame one another. It can make us have a lot of tension, right? And that's not healthy for relationships. You know, it's not. They say that one of the most difficult things that a couple can do together is to move. The moving process can be so extremely stressful, especially if you're leaving behind everything you've ever known and going to move to something entirely different that you're not familiar with, right? Away from that support system that you're accustomed to. Now, sometimes that can be a good thing. You know, sometimes moving away from energies that don't serve you, such as gossips that cause harm, negative influences, addictions, just bad people in general, right? Removing yourself from those situations can be very positive. Removing yourself from temptation, right? Things that you should not be doing, okay? So, however it panned out, oh, I'm supposed to be covering up those body parts. Sorry, guys. Hopefully that doesn't get us in trouble. But, whatever happened that got you all up in your head, and maybe even got other people all up in it, and were, you know, they were maybe smack talking your partner or you, or, you know, or the situation, you know, well, if you'd have done this or that or the other, or blah, 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 or someone who originally saw your success and was jealous and then was like, well, I knew it wouldn't last, or, you know, or someone claiming, you know, well, they got their comeuppance, or whatever, right? There's a lot of ways for people to get in our heads and nag and that sort of thing, okay? But they're asking you to leave this energy behind, all right? They're asking you to release this energy, to not stay in this energy. We're all human. We all fall prey to, when changes happen, immediately being afraid, immediately going towards the negative, right? That can quite commonly be a human reaction to change, okay? But change is a gift from the divine, okay? Change is a gateway, a portal to something else that we are meant for, okay? And whether that change is on this side of the veil or the change that takes us to the other side of the veil, there is a reason. There's always a reason, okay? And the divine gives us these gifts, these new beginnings, okay? One, to remind us that we can change and we can grow, that nothing in our lives is set in stone in such a way as to not be able to be changed if that is what is for our highest and best good, okay? And oftentimes it takes us, while it may shake our foundations, it may make us feel like, you know, we may have these moments of like, well, how am I going to pay for the bills? How am I going to take care of the kids? How am I going to, you know, do this, that, or the other? I mean, there are so many things that race through the brain when we have changes, especially when they're financial in nature. Or in health, because this is health, wealth, and home, right? With the pentacles. We have to remember that change is a gift. It is a gateway to a new beginning, okay? And we have to train our thoughts. We have to take action, okay, to actively fight those negative, stormy, chaotic thoughts that want to take over, all right? And actively be like, no, I will not let you defeat me. I will not let you take over my mind. I will not let you rework my chemical and nervous system. It's not happening, right? I will stay positive. I will remain in the energy of love and balance and abundance. I will see this storm through to the other side, and I will be stronger and better for it, okay? And when you take action on that, and you recenter your mind, and you bring about that clarity and that balance, okay, you can weather any storm, all right? You know, I often tell the kids, especially my daughter recently, you know, we all go through changes, and we've had some pretty big changes recently in our lives. And one of the things that helps through change, right, is to know yourself, to ground yourself, to build yourself such a foundation so that any change, any storm that comes along cannot tear your foundation down. It may remodel the house, right? It may build something new on top of that foundation that aids in your growth, okay? But build a foundation that is so unshakable, okay, that you do not lose yourself, all right? That you do not lose your mind in the process, okay? Now, we are all capable of deceiving ourselves with our thoughts, so be wary of that, okay? Make sure you're being truthful with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. There's no need to make things out to be better than they are, but you need to face them with honesty and truth and bravery, okay? The other thing is, be wary of those who lie to get what they want from you. Be wary of those who lie about their own thoughts, feelings, and intentions, okay? Even those that we love and trust most in the world, when change like this happens, this sudden change where you go from something very stable to something not stable that's chaotic, even those that really do love us, their thoughts also get the better of fear of them, right? The fear just can take control, and one of the fears that tends to happen in a relationship sometimes during these sudden changes is, what if they leave me? What if this is too much and they leave me? Right? And that can lead to things like lying, falsehoods, sugarcoating things, not expressing how each other truly thinks and feels about something. So just be wary of that, okay? Make sure that you are being loving and kind, but also truthful with one another. All right. And there's just a word of advice here to make sure that both of you are aware of your financial situation, the truth of your financial situation, and you work together to resolve that situation, okay, in truth and honesty. It can do more harm than good if you lie to your partner about the situation, and they find out later that you didn't tell 100% truth. Like, for example, moving yourself and your family for a job that you find out on the other side doesn't actually pay for the life of you and your family. Things like that. Be honest with each other, okay? Don't be misleading with one another. Work together, okay? But for those of you that, for sure in your heart and in your mind and in your soul that while this change may be meant for someone to go somewhere or not to go somewhere or what have you, but you're not meant to. You're not meant to follow. If that's the case, don't be afraid to stand in your own independence. With the Emperor, this is a very strong, powerful, fiery energy. This is a ruler who knows who they are. They are firm in it, and they don't need anyone else to tell them who they are. They don't need anyone else to dictate to them. They can take care of themselves, right? They have the courage, they have the bravery, they have the internal stamina and stability to take on whatever lies ahead. And with this being an Aries power card, that stubborn determination that comes from being an Aries, and I should know, I am stubborn as all get out. You can just ask my family, but that, okay, while it can be a curse at times and get in your own way, it's also a gift and a tool to help you get through difficult times, all right? So do not forget that you have the power to stand in your own authority and take care of yourself, okay? All right. I also have that message, what's that song? Something about, I put my armor on. There's something here about putting your armor on, being protected, all right? Being protected. Protect yourself and know that you are protected, okay? The Eight of Wands is all about taking swift action, all right? And wands represent spirituality, power, intuition, fire, magic, but they are taking swift and decisive action. Okay? And by doing what is needed to get through this difficult period and on to the other side, it once again brings you to that place of stability, right? That Queen of Pentacles energy. Pentacles are that material world that we keep talking about, that earth, grounded, stable energy of wealth, health, and home. But when you add the Queen element to it, it adds a loving element to that material world, right? Okay, a compassionate element that you see with the Queen of Cups. And this card for me always tends to pull both of those feelings through, okay? So, once again, you will get through the other side, okay? This is your hope card. This is your future card. This is your meant to be card, all right? So, if you are able to get through the heartache, the pain, the rainy day, the storm, okay? If you are able to overcome your thoughts that might lead you down a negative road, you are able to free yourself from the constraints that negative thoughts, negative energies can put you in, okay? If you can free yourself from this energy and not fall prey to it and fall down and just roll in the mire, okay? Because we are all capable of that. If you can free yourself from this and live in faith, okay? Look at the overflowing emotional abundance that waits for you. Okay? So, when we came into this, we were specifically looking for things like romantic relationships that were in your future, relationships you were currently in, how to celebrate those things, how to find everything in your everyday life to celebrate, right? And community, okay? So, I am absolutely getting from this. Celebrate together, okay? Celebrate your accomplishments. Celebrate your independence. Celebrate your stability. And then embrace and celebrate the new beginning and changes that occur within this tower moment, okay? Celebrate you being able to overcome fear, doubt, anger, anxiety, okay? And getting through to the other side. And I do see a great deal of stability and confidence and happiness and celebration in your future. All right? Now, this heartache here, there may be an element of loss here with this tower, and I do not want to disregard that, okay? So, with this Three of Hearts coming in, this Three of Swords, sorry, coming in, I don't want to dismiss that, all right? So sometimes we do lose loved ones, all right? And it is okay to mourn that loss. Remember not to stay in it. Remember not to stay trapped in it. Remember not to stay mired in it. Remember to grow. Remember to heal and to release, okay? Because you are worthy of emotional fulfillment, emotional stability, and emotional abundance, right? As well as this material abundance in health, wealth, and home that I am seeing, all right? So, yeah, find community in one another, partnerships, family. Find solace in your own communion with yourself, okay? All right. This golden healer quartz. I'm going to read about that, and I do strongly encourage you to explore how it might positively affect your life, okay? All right. It helps with healing. It is one of the master healer quartz crystals. Helps with purification, cleansing, amplification of intuition, and knowing one's intentions. Okay. Aids in vitality, boosts energy, helps with divine connection, transformation, spiritual growth, emotional healing. Okay. That's a big one for this one. It balances all of the chakras, and it specifically works with your solar plexus chakra. Okay, so if you're meditating and lying down and you want to work with that solar plexus chakra, you just place this on it as you meditate. Okay, and you can use a range of crystals if you lie down for meditation. Placing them on your chakras as they go according to their uses, right? Okay. And that can be of help. And I would actually encourage that here with some of to help you regain that stability you worked so hard for that I saw in the beginning of this reading. Okay. And not to fight against fate and destiny and what is meant for you. Okay. All right. So, on that vein, let's look at what other crystals might be of benefit to you in helping. And right off the bat, I see this happiness and stability to marriage and partnerships, sardonyx, 6 of Wands energy there. Okay. So if you are married or any sort of partnership at all, and you are going through a difficult change, a difficult time, that sardonyx can be of benefit. And that actually may be the reason I was told to pick this up. Okay, let's get you a Moonology card. Okay, right off the bat, they gave us work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. And absolutely. And once again, I'm getting that moving energy here, uncertainty in finances and things like that. And that can be such a fearful experience and a fearful time. So work through your fears is coming through very, very strongly here. Okay. And then meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. So once again, that Pisces energy is coming through. Really strong water signs for this reading. We've got Scorpio, we've got Pisces. And yeah, I'm really getting that meditation, balancing your chakras. Okay, that's going to be really important in getting you through this difficult situation and overcoming that negative energy. Okay, and communication is key. All right, communication is key. New moon in Gemini. And we have 3 new moons here, so it may benefit you to work with the new moon, releasing what does not serve you and inviting abundance and prosperity into yourself. Also, I'm getting a little bit something here around timing. That may give you some sense of timing. There's 3 new moons here. Take that if it resonates. If it doesn't, leave it behind. Okay? All right. I hope that you found this to be helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If there was anything you felt could have been improved upon, please also let me know that. Be gentle and kind as you do so if you would. Remember, you are beautiful. You are loved always. And you've got this. You've absolutely got this. And just one more thing they wanted me to share with you. If you are having financial difficulties, consider using a money manifestation bowl. It's where you take a bowl, usually made of something earthen, to represent that grounded material wealth, and then you add things that represent wealth to you. So like pyrite, cinnamon, chamomile, basil, just a wide range, citrine, that sort of thing, okay? Things like this ocean jasper with the pyrite inclusions in it, green, burning a green candle, anything, green, tiger's eye, there's just use clear quartz to amplify the energy. If nothing else, it gives you a place to put your energies in a way that manifests your hopes and dreams, okay? It gives you a place to put all of that mental energy that you are dealing with, and put it somewhere, okay, to help you deal with it, to help you cope with it. All right? Okay. Take care of yourself. If you have any more questions about doing things like money bowls or whatever, you just let me know, and I can do a video for you about that. There's also a lot of good videos out there. Let's see. There's one that has done a few. Is it the Witch of Wanderlust over on YouTube? She may have TikTok as well. I'm not sure. She does several money bowl videos that might be of some benefit to you. Oh, and another one. And this is for those of you that believe in this. For those of you that don't, just disregard it. But there is a tradition within certain faiths that if you bury a saint upside down in your yard when you're trying to sell your house, that it speeds it up. And I have known people that had personal experience with that and it being successful. If my memory serves me correctly, it's Saint Joseph. So if you feel called to do so, just put Saint Joe out there upside down in the garden, and if the house sells, pull them up and take them with you. All right. Love you. Take care of yourselves. Bye.